Hello, everybody, and welcome to Crochet, a Canadian crochet podcast. I am your hostess, Claudia. Thank you so much for joining me today. I herald from the base of the Rocky Mountains in southern Alberta, Canada, and I love to crochet. Let's get started. Okay, I have some whips to show you, and they're when I get to them, like you'll see, they're not exactly like finished. Oh, sorry, not whips. I do have whips. Oh man, it's going to be one of those kinds of days, I swear. I have some finished projects for you, but some of them are like kind of finished and some of them are not kind of finished. So I will start with the actual finished one first, and then I will move on and explain the other ones. So the first finished item that I have is this hat. So yes, I know it just looks like a triangle. It's actually this very cute witch hat. So I was making this, I was going along doing the gauge. I used 1/4 millimeter, which basically makes no difference, larger hook than was required because I have a 3 and I have a 3.5, but I don't have a 3.25, which is what the recipe called for this. And yes, I just call it a recipe. I always do that, the pattern. So it ended up still being too small for my head, and when I looked at the pictures, it didn't fit the way that it was supposed to, as far as I can tell. And I know that I don't have a big head. Like, I got a little head. So I think I probably just kind of like overdid it with the crochet hook. So next time I make this, I would use probably a slightly thicker yarn and a 4 millimeter hook, and that should fit my head. So I'll try it on for you so you can see how it looks. But my daughter has taken this on. So just imagine like basically the same face, but long, long blonde hair. So she looks absolutely adorable. Yes, I also made this brim a little bit smaller because by the time I realized that it wasn't going to fit my head, she had already said that she wanted it. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to add any more brim to it. So the brim is supposed to be 7 more rows, which would take it to about roughly there, I think. Um, so yeah, so it's just, this one's little. Now that I'm wearing it, it's like not that bad seeing myself. This is actually the back. I made a little marker, so I'm technically wearing it backwards. The original pattern said this was optional, but you could put wire in the brim. And I think if I make any subsequent ones, which I probably will, because this actually worked up. I got this finished in a day. Even though on Ravelry it'll say it took me a couple of days because I started it and then I frogged it and then I redid it because I forgot which hook I was using for a while for the first iteration. So I did some of it at 3 millimeter and some with 3.5, and you could totally tell that the stitches were totally different. It was like wavy, but like in here instead of here. Anywho, what am I saying? Oh yes, I put wire in the rim so that it would stick out a little bit more, but as it is like this, and on my daughter, she looks like she has an inverted bluebell on her head, and it is so cute. But yeah, and she likes also, just because it's stiffer, because this yarn is Caron Simply Soft in the color Pagoda, and it calls for, I believe, a 5 millimeter hook, but since we used a 3.5 millimeter hook on this, it made it like stronger fabric when you're finished. So she likes, because you can point the point of the high, you can do up, down, curl it back. You could be, funny and do it on the side. And yes, I know like you can crochet it to do that on its own, but she likes the flexibility of wearing it how she does. So it's cute. It's really cute on, and when you take it off, mess up my hair. It's just, I don't know. It's like, it's deceptive because it looks really funny off, but on it's really, really cute. So she likes it, and I have an order for one more from her friend who wants one as well because they are so cute. So there's that. The next thing that I finished is one slipper. So this is why it's like technically this is finished, but it's not actually finished because they come in a pair and I've only made one. So I found a slipper pattern on Pinterest, and it is, you make like a long, I shouldn't say long, it's about, this one ended up being 28 centimeters wide. Yes, sorry, I'm doing math in my head. And then halfway, so 14 centimeters, you crochet back and forth, and then you crochet up 14 centimeters. So you add a square on it to make like sort of an L shape like this. And then you fold it in such a way that you put like the top. So this is the 14 centimeter section that I added to this 28 centimeter section. So you put this, add this to the other end like that. So you kind of just have to like fold it sort of in half. And at the beginning, before you do the toe part, it's pointy. And then 10 centimeters, and because I did this with fairly thick yarn, I did 11 centimeters, but front, so when it's open, it'll be flat like this across. So I guess, yeah, like this. So you measure from this tip and then back 11 centimeters. So for me, that was there. And the pattern actually calls for 10 centimeters. So I did that a little bit more because I did. And then you fold it and then you sew. So you start sewing here, which I forgot to put this end in. You sew into the end across the foot, which you surprisingly can't even feel this. And then you go up this one side and then you just sort of, you kind of like hide the string, but I went back down to here and then did that and then went back down again and made a knot. I used a whip stitch to do it. If you wanted to get fancy, you could. I didn't. Also, I think next time for the next one, because I mean, you can't see this, but it would just look nicer. I would do purple in here because it would match better than just the green. So I'll put it on you. This one is for the right foot. So whatever way this part goes to the inside of your foot. So you could actually do this all one color, and it's not that it wouldn't matter because, well, I guess, I don't know. You'd have to try it on and see if it felt right because I'm not sure if it's footed because of the color paneling or the striping or whatever. But if you did it in a solid color, I don't see why it wouldn't be, because it's like it's symmetrical. Well, I say that and then the toe is like funny, but it's because I put this on my foot already. Okay, so and then it's a little bit big for me, so I would use different yarn next time. But yeah, you just put it on like that, and then if the yarn is not quite so large, you get a really cute, here, let's see, can I put my foot up high enough? It's a really cute, like ballerina toe style. But yeah, you can see it's kind of big here because this should be tighter against my foot, this part here. But again, like this is worsted weight yarn that I used. It is the Impeccable. It was leftovers that I had, and I just thought that this would be fun. So I'm going to make a second one, and then I have a friend who has slightly larger feet that would probably appreciate this a lot because they get cold feet. So you don't know who you are, so this is not showing you anything. But yeah, so this was super easy. I found it's a video on YouTube, and the video is in, I I can't really tell. I think it's Spanish, but I'm not 100% sure because I was having a really hard time hearing it because the kids are talking all the entire time while I was doing this. But there are English subtitles, so I followed the English subtitles and I was able to create it without any issue at all. The thing that I really basically needed to know was the number of stitches to get up to this part. I could have done it by measurement, but I didn't realize until we had got through that you could do it by measurement instead of by rows, but you live and you learn, right? So this uses front post and back post double crochet alternating because I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's ribbed all the way. And that's how you get the ribbing, and then the inside is the same but opposite. So there. But yeah. Yeah, so I enjoyed making that. And then the next thing that I made is, I feel like I have a story about this. Okay, so I'm not sure you can see all these here. They're not showing up on camera as nicely. So I found at my Walmart, they were half price. They were selling those Red Heart Ogos. I don't even have the packet anymore, so I can't remember what the heck they're called. But they like come in the circle like that, and it's basically like a tiny little cake on there, and it's all these different colors. So it had this is a green. It looks kind of gray on camera. This is like, I don't know, it's a bluish green. It's really blowing out on camera here. And I caked these together. This is like hot pink. It's similar. No, it's none of this is showing up properly. This is really hot pink. You might be able to hear my washing machine in the background. I apologize. And then this is a bright goldenrod color. And now I've lost my fifth color. Oh no, I didn't. I found it again. This I was playing around with, so I have to put it back. This is a nice burgundy color that's very complementary to the pink and the yellow especially. And then there is this darker teal color. It's not terribly dissimilar in real life. Oh yeah, you can see that it's different. So what you see as the difference in here is the difference you see in real life. It's just that the colors, like they're a lot, I guess, more yellow than what's coming up on camera. Anyways, so I got that and then I started making, okay, here, I'll show you. So I was having so much fun with this. So I started doing freehand crochet, and I absolutely love the term that you use for like pieces of freehand crochet. They're called scrumbles. Like I'm dying how fun that is. So I made a bunch of scrumbles and I just was starting to put them together and they look awful. Like don't get me wrong. But I loved making them. So this one I guess like looks less freeform than one would expect. Um, it's like a petal of a leaf, but this one I was mostly just working on shapes and math to see how to make like the more pointy corner on the side. This one is, what did I do? These really need to be blocked. So this one is more like the inside of the peacock feather shape. And so this one's not symmetrical really at all. It's kind of all over the place, which is fine because sometimes my projects end up like that and then I have to try and fix it, but now I don't have to do that. So there, that's a little bit better. But yeah, like this needs to be blocked in the worst way because it's not turning out so good. That, and then this one too needs to be blocked. This one ended up really funny, and this is probably my least favorite, but that being said, okay, so I made this side first. Oh, that's the back, isn't it? Yeah, oh no, that's the front. Oh, okay. I must have done this for a reason. Anyway, all good. So I made that, and then it was like this to start with, so it was kind of like more than a half circle, and then I added this bottom part on to go into a corner of something, and then I was like, oh, this is not working out too well. So I was just playing around with it and all that good stuff. So this was using all the Ooga yarn except for this. This is, I want to say this is Bernat Premium. That's what it feels like to me anyway. So I have 3 scrumbles that didn't make anything. So technically like I'm done the scrumbles, but I didn't take this as you will. So that's that. And I wanted to talk about the Ooga yarn because I am super late to the game because I couldn't justify spending, when they were at Walmart, I want to say they were around 11 bucks. And it was really surprising when I got it home. So I got them for 547 Canadian. They're not on clearance because anything at Walmart, I don't know if you guys know this, in Canada at least, I can't speak to the US. In Canada, if the price ends in .00, that's considered the clearance price. And then if they're usually they clear it out and they don't get it back. If it's a seasonal item, they will. This is not seasonal, so they're probably, I don't know. It was half price. That's all I know. It was $1.47. So .00 is clearance. It wasn't on clearance, but it was on sale. So I ended up getting this, and this comes all as one cake all together, and I didn't realize that. I thought it was individual colors that go together that were wrapped like in that circle, but not dyed. So this is essentially just like a novelty way to present like a Karen cake or red heart cake, which I'm not sure why they chose this. I found it really hard to get it off of the thing, and there's not that much yarn. So I bought two O's, so I paid 11 something with GST, and I've used a tiny bit of this color, but there's hardly anything here. There's nothing like that exciting about these really. Like I really like these colors together, even though like on camera they look like garbage. But together they go really nicely together. Yeah, as I repeat myself. And I had an idea for these of what I wanted to do, but then I got it off of the O, and it was such a small amount of yarn, which I knew that going in because I had I read the weight and length and everything, and I knew it wasn't a lot, but sometimes you get that stuff and it says that it's, like X number of meters, and then you put it in a cake, and then you're like, oh, like this at least feels somewhat substantial. This doesn't feel substantial at all. Not to say that people haven't made beautiful things with these. I don't think I'm ever going to buy these again. To me, it's not worth the price. The yarn is just okay. It shears really easy. It's not twisted hard enough in my preference, so yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like, it's great. If you have nothing else to crochet with or you knit with, it would be perfectly acceptable, but it's just not my cup of tea. That's all I have to say about that. Okay, so now we can move on to the work in progress section since I think I messed that up at the beginning. I can't remember. I've recorded this a few times and I'm trying to get through it, so I don't remember what I have said and what I didn't say this time, so bear with me. All right, my daughter proposed to me that I make her a cape, which I absolutely love because it's Cape Timber, which I didn't even know, but I will find where I learned that it's Cape Timber. Oh, it was Jillian, and her last name starts with E. I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. She is a very talented, in my opinion, wool dyer, spinner. I don't know. I absolutely love the yarns that she does. I like to watch her videos of her carding the wool and spinning it, and she explains things really nicely. So I personally have no interest in dyeing, spinning wool at all, but I do find it very interesting, the videos of it. So I'm glad that I stumbled upon her channel. So she told me it's Cape Timber, so it's Cape Timber. Um, my daughter asked me to make her a cape. It was at the end of August, and I just didn't get started until about the 30th. I forget. It's on Ravelry. So she said she wanted a cape that has a hood, and I know this looks massive, but when you put it on, it's not that big. And then a cape that goes out and to have a button across the front. And I was like, I can do that. So I asked her what color she wanted, and she brought me 3 markers, which I then took to the store. So I got the pink almost matches exactly. The purple that I have here is it's slightly redder, slightly, not a lot. And then the gray, it was a lot harder to find grays. They had this and a charcoal gray, and then that was it. So she said she was fine with this. The gray that she wanted was a little bit darker, but I still think like there's good color definition even on camera with it blowing out here. In real life, it's even better together like this. So I think that I chose well for these things because this pink is obviously, this is a redder pink than a bluer pink, which would make it more purple. I understand that, but everything has base colors. So these 2 base colors go well together, and then this one does as well. So I think it looks good. So far I have a hood. I can put it on and show you. And I'll lose probably all my stitches here. It has a hood and a little bit, she likes the ruffle, which is really funny to me. So yeah, the hood seems really big, but we're gonna pull it, we're gonna go like that because she said she wanted it like kind of bigger at the front, and if we do it like this and I sew it, it will hold its shape a lot better for her. And then I did check, and even on my neck, it's a little bit tight for me, which will be perfect for her. This part we will be able, because she wants it to be tightened up here, this will be able to have the button, and then there should be some crossing at the front, so that the wind doesn't just blow her thingy open. I asked her if she wanted pockets, and she said no. So there's no pockets in here. There's no armholes. She just wants it standard cape. So I'm happy to oblige. I am using a 7mm hook. I'm using my wooden one from Walmart. It is, yeah, 7mm. It says N/A, so I don't know if that means it's an N or if it's not applicable. But 7mm. And the yarn that I am using on this is the Craft Smart Value yarn, which this yarn has gone so far in the past couple of years. I used to dread if I ever had to use this because it was so plasticky and so hard, and I just hated it. It calls for a 5mm hook, but so I went up a bit because I wanted it nice and loose and not too hot, as I wanted air to be able to flow in and out of it. It's a size 4 medium yarn. It's 100% acrylic, and I wanted to say, oh yes, the color that this is called Blush. Purple is called Amethyst. And the gray, I believe, is just called gray. I think I've used this one before. Oh, light gray, my bad. So yeah, I've got this, just the 3 skeins, and it's gone really far so far, and I might have to buy some more. I'm not 100% sure, but it's going along very well, and that is a very fun project that I'm working on right now for her. And one more. Is that it? One more thing? I feel like I have 2 other things on the go. Oh yeah, duh. I have lost. Okay, this is something else. This is the second thing. This is called the Earth Essence top. I've kind of stalemated over a while that I am making. I'm pretty sure that I showed this to you. Now I can't remember if I showed you last week. So this, yeah, it actually is probably the same since I showed you last time. But this is the front panel. I'm still having to add a few more rows to it to get it up to the top because it's supposed to be somewhat cropped. But I want it to be down there. Like I obviously would wear this with an undershirt, but still, I want it to be, yeah, it'll be okay. I want, yeah, about that much actually left, and then I can start on the other panel. So the yarn, and I lost the label for it, which I'm really, really sad because this is incredible. Absolutely incredible. I purchased this yarn at my local yarn shop called Unwind Wool, and it is wool and linen. And when I first got it home, it was in the twisty skein. I had to like actually use my cake winder for a genuine purpose rather than just like already caking skeins. So I was able to cake this. I don't have a Swift, so I just put it around my knees and did it that way. Um, and I put it on. I'm not sure. It looks very rustic, but it's beautiful and it smells really, really interesting. So I think it's around 50-50. If I can find the label, I'll put all of the details into Ravelry. Yeah, like I can't remember anything about it other than what it's made of. So it cost, this was a little bit more expensive for me personally. This was $30 to purchase, but I feel that it's well worth it. So now that I have it caked up and I'm using it, and at first I was a little worried it was going to be rough because there are, I'm not, can you see that? There's like strings of the flax that come out. I'm assuming that's the flax because that doesn't look like wool to me. It doesn't feel like wool either. Um, that it was going to be really rough and really hard, but I think maybe it's like the naturally occurring lanolin in the wool, but it is I cannot get over how smooth this feels in my hand. And it's like I don't know, it's just like it feels so nice. So this garment will be a hand wash, hang dry, or lay flat to dry kind of thing because it's not super wash wool. I believe this is regular wool. So it will sort of fray and get all crazy and everything like that. Also, I wouldn't want to wash it in the washing machine because I don't want all of that beautiful, if there is still lanolin in here. I'm not really entirely sure like what happens during the wool process, how much of that comes out, but like it feels incredible and it's these beautiful natural fibers. So this is completely biodegradable or not, no, it's compostable if, for some reason I don't want it anymore and throw it out, which no. And it is this lovely, lovely moss green. Yeah, again, everything is like it's lost its yellow tone in this filming, and I don't know how to fix that on here. So, but still, it's this beautiful mossy green, which I don't wear a lot of green, but it's in that like deeper sort of muted earth tone, which does go well with my coloring. I'm like, looks terrible with this, though, I'm not gonna lie. But in terms of like my own face, it goes pretty well with this. So, because I have an olive skin tone or olive undertone, so this is like the lightest I would go. I typically stay away from anything that's yellow because it makes me look very, very sallow, and I don't like it. So what hook was I? I'm using a 3mm hook for this, and it's going along really, really well. So it's a series of um, half half double crochets and treble crochets to make the window pane, and then you just sew the edges on, like sew the panels together as you would like them. You can leave room for your own armholes. I did, again, my very precise thing about just holding it up to see the size for myself, and oh no, I pulled some out. Um, yeah, so that is something fun to report. I would love to go get more of this, but I don't have anything to make of it. And I went to the yarn store, though, specifically with this project in mind, because I wanted something that was just going to be really, really pretty and something that was going to have like really nice. I wanted to make this out of really nice yarn, and I feel like it's completely delivered. And I'm really bummed out that I can't find this tag for it. Oh, actually, I have an idea. There's a basket. Oh shoot, it's not in there. I'm so sorry. I don't know where it is. But I feel like everybody needs this yarn in their life. It's not even scratchy, like at all. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And the last thing that I'm working on. Oh no, there's two other things. Oh my gosh, Claudia. Okay, sorry. I found this. It was behind my chair. This is okay. So a little bit of story time is back up. The duck that we took camping, his name is Mighty. So he is disabled. He hurt his leg. Gosh, when early this year, I think. I know, I feel like we've had him so long, like being disabled, that he's always been like that to me. So he hurt his leg really badly and it curves like this in against his body, but his other leg is perfectly fine. So he walks really, really funny, and it is kind of sad, but he gets around and he can swim perfectly fine. He can look after himself. He can eat, he can get away from predators, all that stuff. And I mean, he bites. So anyway, he loves to come in the house, and we let him sleep in the house every night because we don't want predators to get him. Because the other ones, at least, like they can fly away, and he can't like get up enough to get enough lift to fly away. Which is why I'm like, if he bites, whatever. Not me. I don't want to be bitten. Anyway, so we let him come in the house. So oftentimes he will come onto our deck and then he just makes a beeline for the house and he comes right on in here. And to me, it's the funniest thing. And oh, I messed something up, I think. Okay, anyway, so he comes right in here and there is a scrap blanket on our couch that I made years ago, which it's one of my trapezoidal shaped blankets because that's the only kind that I had made at the time. And he loves it, but unfortunately ducks are not able to regulate when they expel waste, so it honestly it just comes out of them. I believe all birds are this way, and it just comes out of him. So oftentimes he will expel waste onto the blanket, so it gets washed a lot. What I wanted to do also, and that blanket's not very thick, is I'm calling this a Mighty Mat because his name is Mighty. So what I am doing is I am using old leftover acrylic yarn. It's size 4 worsted weight yarn, medium, I guess, and I'm holding it double strand. So right now I have a pink and a yellow. I'm almost done the pink ball, so I'll be adding a different color in here. And what I'm doing with this is the single crochet thermal stitch to make this. Like, it is thick. So I want him, because he really likes padded things. There is this sheet pillow that I made, oh gosh, a long time ago. I think I even featured it on here. But he really likes to lay on that, because it takes pressure off of his front end. So he likes to get propped up like this. So I thought something like this would work well for him because this will provide thickness so that his bare legs are not just laying on our hard floor, because we don't have much carpet in our house, which I don't want him pooping all over the carpet anyway, but still. But we can fold, so if we fold it in half, it creates a really great mat. But then also if it's blanket style, and you can fold it like that so he can rest himself upright in that fashion. So yeah, so that is something else I'm working on. This isn't listed on Ravelry. This is just like a scrap buster that I don't really, like, I don't work on all that much. You know, it's just one of those things like, I want something mindless that I don't have to count. I will pull this out and work on it. So as you can see, not a lot's been done because I started, I think, like the day that I finished the last podcast. Oh, where's my bag? Oh, shoot. I don't have it. Be right back. Oh, I sat down today and I thought I was really, really well prepared for this episode, and it turns out I'm not. All right, we know what this is. So last time that I showed you this is the Dreamcatcher cardigan 3mm hook, and the superwash merino wool cozy something from Michaels. So the last time that I showed this to you, oh my goodness, I got fluff all over my face. The cat's been sleeping on here. So I was here when I showed this to you last. So I've made a lot of progress, and I have another stitch marker in here. Oh yeah, because I needed to know when to start and stop a certain section. So I finished the one side completely. That's awkward. So this is the one sleeve side here. So these two sides will be sewn together at some point like this, and then a sleeve put on here. Oops. The camera all over. So yeah, so this is the top of the sleeve, and then this is the back of I think this is the neck. Yeah, this is the neck, and I am working on the third corner of this, and then I'll have to move over to this side and finish that corner, and then there is a collar to put on, make the sleeves, and then I'm done. The bottom is this one, because I just remembered I made this side like a little bit funny, like my planchos, so that the corner stayed down like that instead of, again, like going off to the side or whatever. I wanted it like this, and then yeah, I like it like that. So you can really see, yeah, oh, it's so pretty, so pretty. So yeah, it'll go. This is the top, and you'll be able to see that, and that's the bottom, all that. So I'm a lot more close to being done. This is one thing that I have been working on, like providing a lot more focus on, because I just really want to get this done. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to, because I am no stranger to boho cardigans. This is one here, but this is super basic. It's just a square that I made in an all linen stitch. This is the very first one I ever made. So I followed the directions very literally, and it almost drags on the ground because it's so long. So I have to wear it and fold it up like that, but it's getting to be chilly, so I wear that. Anyway, all that being said, that is what I am working on. Man, this is going to be really long, and I apologize. I feel like I've talked a whole lot today. But But yeah, so this is the very, very first one that I ever made, linen stitch. This was a Karen cake, and oh gosh, for the life of me, I can't remember what the colorway was called. It could possibly be in Ravelry. I'll have to check it out, but I do remember putting this project in Ravelry because I was so excited that I didn't even make my bag. Okay, life news. Oh, my kiddos are starting back at school, and that's really awesome because they are very social little creatures and they miss school and their friends a lot. So they're excited to go back. I'm excited for them to be excited, which is all great, and that's wonderful. And then really that's about it right now. Like there's not a whole lot going on other than just like the rentrée to school, which is great. And that's like the main family focus is just to try to make that as seamless of a transition as possible for them and for us as well, because it's definitely a routine change in the entire household, which is fine. Like I'm up for change. It doesn't bother me. Yeah, so really that's it. That's all I got for you guys this week. So thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up and you can subscribe below and you can hit the bell to get notified every time I upload. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.